Hello and welcome to Let's Look At, the series where I take a look at old videos I made in the past, archived for the future. Today's episode will be taking a look into Peanut Snoopy's Town Tales game, more specifically the update Movie Star, which was updated in July 2020. Now this is significant because this was way late into the event. Mind you, like probably in July of 23 is when this update had happened. But what was so significant about this is that not only did this introduce something, just a new update and all that, but the reason for the delay was because of the fact that this introduced a new gimmick, that being the Battle Pass. Now, you're going to see this Battle Pass feature going through, but for the last little while, I've been showing you old videos of certain things, right? Like the old way of they do the events, like, the crafting and scene and everything. That's gone now. Instead, they in favor for this stuff, and it was a mixed bag when it first introduced. On one hand, it's cool, it's new, it's unique, it's something like, anything new is like, ooh, cool. But then the other bad part is like, ooh, the money grabbing seems to, you'll see. Anyways, let's dive in. So anyways, while we do this, we're going to be showing here. As you can see, there's a new character right beside Snoopy and Charlie Brown, and that's Naomi. She is a character that was has a her mom, I think, is a veterinarian, and this was a Spike story that involved with her. I believe because Spike was found laying down or dehydrated or something. The story will go on and talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, we're going to take a look into this because I believe this will be very interesting as far as how this whole thing goes. And so as per usual, I'm going to have to do some musical things. Right, because I have to make sure I get the right tempo going. So, just wait for a little bit. Because, again, loading, man. What? There we go. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, it's my favorite song, of course. Yeah, but I wanted to do this just to make sure, and it's loading so slowly! Gotta do that again. Alright, let it load. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, it took too long, but now it's finally here. I had to load in all that new stuff. As you can see, this interesting gimmick. The Gold Pass! Ooh, what's this, you might be thinking to yourself. It looks cool. It does, because if you click on here, there it is, the Battle Pass. So how it works is basically craft scenes, and there's a progression bar, right? The Gold Pass is only unlocked if you buy the pack. Otherwise, you just get the free stuff at the bottom, which is unfortunate and cute. Gotta yawn, because if not, world ends. So, anyways. I did get some involvement with this update, especially with the Gold Pass and everything, just because it was unique, but not a whole lot. Now, some of these items, if you've seen my other videos, like the Goosebumps Horror Town, you might be familiar with some of this stuff here, because during the update, Please Don't Feed the Vampires, that was more of a film movie update, so they just recycled some of the items from that and brought them here. Not only that, but other interesting things too. Just like the one scene there, which was, I'll point it out, but when you get to see it, I'll say, oh, that's the scene in question, right, to get that. And this is interesting, because beforehand, the big expensive pack was with, new costume and outfits and whatnot. But this time, the new characters in the cheaper pack, which isn't too bad. They changed that, though, I think later on, because they realized, oops, we need more money, right? And unfortunately, to get Naomi's costume, you will have to actually do something. Anyways, everything in the movie magazine is so glamorous. I wonder what it will be like to be a movie star, but it'll never happen to me. Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen any time before. Wait a minute. This article said there's a contest to make a movie. Anyone can enter. One lucky film winner will win a movie award and get a fancy premiere. Wow. Yeah, so here we go here. Now, you just need to put this down and get this going. Now, something interesting you'll notice is that when it comes to animations and whatnot, they're a little bit locked behind the new gimmick, which is the costumes. Well, you're wondering why the costumes got introduced a while ago? This is why. Because this gimmick here basically introduced that. The reason why they was getting ready for this gimmick here. So the boxes and the costumes, it's because of this whole thing. Because they wanted to make it like Adams, as far as the whole context goes. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, most of the interesting animation stuff only available if you buy the pack, which is unfortunate. Now, there's something here. So, we're going to take a look into this real quick because, again, just in case. But, something I'll talk about before, when we end this, I'm going to talk about what's going to come up next. And it is interesting as far as what I have planned, but it will be kind of like, you'll see. Not as bad, but, you know, it is an interesting kind of like, oh, okay. But anyways, we're going to get finishing close to this scene here. But, while we do that, there will also be a little bit of a glitch, and unfortunately we're going to have to just skip that a little bit, but should be a-okay for the most part. But anyways, let's just go over here, and yep, anyways, I gotta do that, because as you can hear, game was glitching out. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyways, this is interesting too, because this will be the last time this old phone format will be used, because after the next update it will disappear. So the bar things, we won't see that anymore. Snoopy, can you imagine us being a film star? We could enter this movie contest. I wouldn't mind being famous, especially if it means I got more cookies. I do it as long as I get 7 cookies, whatever. Anyways, oh boy, that's a huge jump. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is just new right now as an introduction, but they will later on fix things and improve upon it as this thing goes on. You'll notice. But anyways, anywho, now with this in mind, so he has 2 costumes. One's the movie director and the other one's the movie star. Now, unfortunately, the movie star is exclusive. You have to buy all 3 packs in order to get them. So I did not get that because, again, I wasn't interested in this game back in the day. I was focused on Snoopy, Adams, and Goosebumps. But I did buy the characters. The characters I was interested in, and any time of Gold Pass, I might buy it maybe. But yeah, I wasn't too depth of getting all the costumes and caring about that stuff. Which is, yeah, I know, unfortunate, but again, this is why it's on the Slop channel. I keep calling it a Slop channel. It's like Grimokan's Beyond, right? It's a Beyond Reality is what it's called, right? But, you know, it's just basically just my meh, kind of like I don't like. It's not like I don't care. It's more like meh, no, not huge quality. Quality. You know what I mean. You know what I mean? Yeah? No? Okay. Well, anyways, I gotta put this stuff down. Yep. Yeah. Let's do that there. And there. We make a nice red carpet, and it's for money, so that's not too bad. You can actually get a good decoration stuff going here, which is actually nice. I do like how they did that. I'll give them credit for that, right? They didn't use points or anything like that, which I don't think they've done. Yeah, that's strange. Most of the new items are only from the packs. Yeah, now I realized it. Yeah, and you get a bunch of this stuff here too, so yeah, it kind of helps you with the event, and it kind of helps kind of shape things up. Like, what you'll notice is that when it comes to some of this updates, is that they'll introduce an item that drops you something, but they'll introduce so much of it because it gives you more of that, like, quantity over, you know what I mean? But then the problem is, at some point, it'll start to look horrible that you got these buildings and whatnot that drop you a bunch of items you don't need anymore. And sometimes, like this, for example, this stuff here, that's fine. You can I can see multiples of these hanging around, and you can make a film shit or whatever there. That's fine. But sometimes the decorations they come up with, it's like unique to have it. Let's have the one, but in any other stuff, it's so god awful looking. Like it's just bad. Anyways, we got a new stuff here, which is him doing the movie director thing. which are going to show up because this is the first exclusive thing, which is him going, you know, trying to do Snoopy, you know, growl, you know, whatever. Because he's the director. He's the director and the star. He's all in one. I'm sure it's somebody. I want to say it's like, I don't want to say like, God, I'm thinking of bad actors, but I'm trying to think of like real world examples of people who are directors who also were stars in their films, and the only people I can think of at the moment is like Tommy Wiseau and his The Room movie. That's horrible, man. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mom. Great movie. Yeah, by the way, if you ever seen that movie, oh my god, is it a treat of like, what am I watching? But the best part is, there is also another film that came out behind that as well, called The Disaster Artist, which is supposed to be a retelling of, oh yeah, and by the way, there's something new that popped up too, by the way, and that one is an interesting gimmick that they decided to bring up here, which is, well, I didn't realize all these things you can make a movie. It takes more than cameras. This sounds like a job for me, the producer. I'll be in my trailer. If you help Snoopy, you'll get a co-producer. I hope the title comes with more cookie points on the back end, like whatever. Yeah, so this is where you get more points. So this is doing little missions that can help you. Making movies is easy. We need the whatever. Famous movie director might be everywhere. It may be available right now. He might be a great director, Snoopy, and I can provide that as long as it's for cookie right worldwide territories. I accept it. Yeah. Okay. Back in the day, I did not care. That's why it's here. There's reasons why things are there. It makes more sense now, doesn't it? Right, so now I just need to do that. And then it goes quiet as soon as you open the box. Yeah, that's weird. In the future, they're gonna have it go like, bing! Like, you know, like actual excitement. Like, you open the box. Oh. Yeah, very disappointing. It's like not really exciting anymore. Anyways, now we got a new quest. And you'll notice, they only do it like dialogue once, and then the rest of the quests are basically just filler stuff to help you get points. At some point in this event, not this event, but in the future, when we cover stuff, they will stop doing this, and then it's gonna be like, just do the thing. Like, they don't even have a quest line for it. It's just do the action, right? They stopped caring for it. So you'll notice that will happen at some point. But anyways, now he goes into the building to hide, and Schroeder will do the same thing, which is helpful. But yeah, anyways, you get to see idea here. And this is Franklin's new animation, which is him being a boom-like operator, which is funny, you know. It's funny that you kind of go it out there. Right. So, I believe I got another costume in this update, but I'm not sure of what exactly. And I don't know. Okay, wait. Now I think I'm starting to remember. I think for Naomi's, like, you do get it if you go to the quest line. I'm wondering if you can. I'm trying to think if I got it through her pack or not, because I have a feeling that... Yeah. Anyways. I'm sorry, I'm just talking to somebody. Anyways. Yeah, they're opening up boxes. Oh, it's supposed to be like them going for the red carpet and stuff like that, but the fact that they're on the red carpet makes no sense too. So, just making noises. Oh, yeah. This looks so bad because of, you know, he's wearing the costume, which is cool. I give it credit that they have it so the animation will still work with whatever costume you wear. But it's stupid at some point. What is this piece of paper, Snoopy? It looks like a contract. Well, no. Famous movie directors will up a sign and won't get home for a script control. Okay. And 7 cookie contract. Don't forget the most important part. Me and my words, man. Anyways. Yay, we're moving up in the world and Snoopy's happy. We're slowly getting there. We got a donut shop now. And lights. Of course. Donut shop for the cops. Like Chief Wickham. You know, the classy kind of like, you know, the stereotypes, as you know. Anyways, I wonder where that whole stereotype came from films and whatnot. Because it must have started from somewhere. And again, lights make sense too to have multiples up. But sometimes in the future, you'll start to see that they put items that make absolutely no sense to have multiples of. But I'll point it out if I remember. I might not. Now we need to find our team. Let's consider who will be the best for each job. Let's start with the camera person, who will have a strong visual eye. I love to bring the cinema vision to life through magic of the lens.
I'll be the assistant director. I'll also be in charge of watching my own Sweet Boo.
The audio is also as important as its cinematography. Who knows about me? I love recording things, Charlie Brown. Sign me up. Wow, this is great. I feel like we have an award-winning team. I have one question. What kind of movie are we going to make? Oh, yeah. And by the way... Yeah, okay, well that's... Oh, you put that stuff down and already did that. So that kind of self-completed itself. Interesting thing. Yeah, I guess Schroeder is the music guy. I think we should make a Western movie. In my opinion, a drama would be best, especially if we want to have a win award. I plan to direct a film about flying ace, dogfighting, romance, action film. This is too complicated. Everyone write down their ideas and we'll pick one for a hat. Okay. Now, I think eventually, yeah, eventually I do get that item in question and I'll show it off. And that item in particular is interesting because that used to be the scene item for the vampire update. Yeah, the infamous vampire update from Horror Town. Oh, that was so badly handled, man. Not the event itself. It was okay, but my God, the way they got it was just so badly handled. It was just, you know, that's the best way to describe it. The sound, it's just, you know. Anyways, Oh, by the way, I found a trick when it comes to this particular PC that I got this recording stuff on. Supposedly, if I leave my mouse a while, I have it so that it goes into screensaver mode, like it'll just, you know, disappear. You know what I mean? Goes black kind of thing to kind of help save it so that if the computer's on, it's not going to cause burning on the screens and whatnot. But the one thing that I want to point out is that the only exception to that is if you open up a video player and if you leave it. Like if you don't even have it on, like you put it in the tab, it will not turn off. It'll stay on. It's very weird that that's the case, but there must be some weird programming about that. And yeah, this is him just looking at the film camera. Cool. I believe that was the same... Can I speak, please? Reuse animation that was back in the Halloween update that I couldn't record because, you know, errors. So, if I remember correctly from that update, it was basically he wanted to capture the Great Pumpkin rising from the pumpkin patch to be like, see, Charlie Brown, I was right. He does exist. Your Santa Claus doesn't, though. Actually, no, he changed his mind. Apparently Santa does exist, but also that too. I'm just reading something, sorry. It's just someone sent me something and I'm just like, See, I'm so in-depth with this stuff, right? I'm so in-depth that I'm just distracting myself with other things, too. And, I'm sorry and not sorry at the same time. How about that? Right, so... It's interesting that the first event, as far as the thing goes, the Battle Pass stuff, it's using the movie update as its thing. And what you'll notice is that the gold pass is supposed to be this lanyard, like, oh yeah, you're going to movie pass and you have this lanyard, like a VIP mode thing. What you'll notice is that moving forward, they will use that as their key, per se. So they keep changing it, but it's still the same lanyard thing. Which is very, very odd. Because most of the time they just use keys, like what the Adams does. That makes sense. And then I guess Goosebumps at some point did it as well. It's weird. This is the only game that doesn't do that. It's like they're allergic to keys, and it's only because this update they wanted to be like, oh, we have this thing, right? And it didn't work out so well. Okay, so get some points. Oh, that's great. Yeah, just win some points and you'll get more points. That's wow. What brilliant moves there, man. And in the future too, they end up actually doing a thing like Goosebumps fixed this issue, thank goodness. And at some point they bring it to their other games, but namely when it comes to event exclusive items, you get some points based on if you sell them off on the screen. But at this point it's like, oh, you have to be lucky with getting it, right? And then that was a weird picture of Patty that was not rendered properly. You know what I mean? Like, that was an old style that they forgot to reanimate because it was a screenshot that you would hardly ever see. So it's interesting that that guy ended up sneaking in. But anyways, got the Western. And what's interesting about the Western is that some of the items there have been reused, but it's also new. You know what I mean? So it's interesting they kind of got stuff. It's interesting how they set things up like this. Like, it's a new item, but they also reuse certain, like, actions, right? Like, the wagon thing. I believe that was also the same wagon model that was used in the Adams when I think they did their first Thanksgiving update back in 2019. I might be wrong. You may correct me on that one. But I figured, I swear it was from the Adams at some point. But anywho, so now he got this animation here, which is him shuffling cards. So, there you go. Why is he shuffling cards? I don't know. But that's what he's doing. Anyways, yeah, I ended up getting the pack with our dear friend, Naomi. So we're gonna put her down. And her stuff too. And yeah. Anyways. What a nice home. It's so futuristic. Like, it looks like 2000s, like, you know what I mean? In the 2000s they had this weird style of like being in the future. And it's like white and shiny. Spike, are you awake? It's me, Naomi. You're at the vet office. How would he know who you are? My mom's the vet here. He's still asleep, Mom. It's funny. I've never seen a dog wearing a hat before. Yeah, you wear a hat. You know, and that should be easy. Just grab, you know, dog bones. And let's see what she does. She does some useful stuff. You need Spike, though, for some of her animations. And, of course, we need to get this. Now, okay. So now I see. So, you do get her costume in the pack, like, in the event. However, it is not an exclusive item. It is a rare item, an epic item. Meaning that you could actually get this not even after the event ends. So this is one of those items that she has in her cap, which makes sense, by the way, because I don't know what she has to do with the movie event. She's just a character that gets added in. And what you'll notice is that her costume, her unique costume, does actually get featured in the dialogue. I'm not sure if it's in this video or the next one coming up, but it does get featured. So it's not like just for show. So apparently she, and I think it's supposed to be her being a poetry slam artist or something like that. But anyways, yeah, it's so quiet. I think they changed this too with the music, is like hearing the drums, like drum roll please. Right. But again, this is like in the early stages, so it's quite interesting knowing like what happened now and a few years in the future, and looking at the past and being like, wow, look at this. Look at all the items you have to do, by the way, which is crazy. It's too much, in my opinion. But hey, oh, you get a beagle buck for this too. That's nice. That's not too bad. I mean, well, you can't really do anything with a measly beagle buck, but hey, every little bit counts, right? Anywho, let's go ahead and continue on to the 26th of July. So just a few days passed. Now then, let's go ahead and see this, which is her doing this, feeding him some food, whether he likes it or not. This kind of reminds me when Lucy decided to feed him food because he's like, you're all skin and bones, right? And then he's like this big fat tub of lard. Then he goes to rerun with the bicycle. Making, like, he's like, oh god, not the bicycle again, right? And then she just he ends up going back to his normal self. Like, it's almost like he threw up all the food that he just ate. But, you know, just fun stuff like that. Funny stuff, indeed, in my opinion, but oh well. Oh well, not too bad, but, you know, it is interesting with the video quality, what I got going on here. But it is what it is. Right, so I should be almost donesies. What great dialogue, Grim! Oh, thank you. When in doubt, just act like a fool. That'll help. Yeah, so I finally got the thing in question I wanted to show off. Look at these, like, rows of cameras. My god. My goodness. Alright. I think at some point I do put that down and I will show it off because it's a fascinating thing. Yeah, though. Yeah, so what's interesting is that they changed it. So when it first came into the game, when they first made it, that thing in question, and I'm going to put it back behind here. So you could do 2 sets, or you could do what I'm doing here, which will make it look like one big building, which is kind of cool. I actually like this. It's a cool little thing I did. But yeah, so let's put the happy Snoopy statue with gold stuff, and let's put it over here. Why not? But yeah, the big thing I want to talk about is this item here. So what they did was they removed the coffin because originally that was supposed to be like a set for a vampire film, but they changed it, so now it's just this carpet area. So it looks so weird. You know, like, what is that supposed to be? Like, for Clue? I guess. So, I guess that's the drama film that they were, like, one of them was talking about. Okay. But anyways, we got this now, which is, I guess, his Flying Ace movie, which is actually kind of a cool gimmick. I'll give it that. And, you know, opening up the boxes. Yeah! Anyways. Let's see what else can we do. Let's see what film genre I picked from the hat. Here goes. Romance? That's fine, but I don't remember anyone mentioning that.
As a producer, you should pay more attention to half your movie audience, big brother.
Oh my god. Of course it was her. Alright, now who can write us good romance film? Here we go again. Alright, now who can write us a good romance film script? Any ideas? I might have 1 or 2. Let's take inspiration from the band bard himself, Shakespeare. We'll tell the story of the great romantic ever, Romeo and Juliet. Now, Romeo and Juliet, okay, so that's where that's coming from. Okay. Romeo and Juliet is an interesting story because, if I remember correctly, it was about 2 factions that hated each other, but then, like, the son to one and the daughter to the other loved each other. And I believe... I don't remember. I think one of them was younger than the other. I'm trying to remember because I know there's such a thing in life called the Romeo and Juliet clause or law, whatever it was, which is supposed to be if you were minors and did something that's considered okay. I don't know, but anyways, it's funny because if I remember correctly, he ended up drinking poison to save the person. and he died. Then she woke up and he's like, oh no, he's dead, now I won't live. And then he decided, you know, stab herself and then, you know, died on top of him. So it's like this romantic love story of, you know,
Romeo, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?
You know, it is to east, but to you, it's to the sun. You know, that whole famous bit that everyone keeps portraying every time. And look at Spike, he's just like a poor puppy, and then she's just like, you know, talking to him. Because he's just so out of it. Like, he doesn't want to be here. We expect some technical difficulties the past days. Please accept some scripts. Thank you very much. I think it was because of the new update with this new feature. As you saw, a little bit of glitchiness happening. So, I don't know what exactly was the cause of why people were upset by this. Because, again, it's been years. I just see a thing and go, oh, something must have happened to cause them to have to... Because every time you see... oh, here's an apology, here's some points or some bucks or something like that. It's usually because they did something bad that affected some players, whether that be from like all players or just particular people, like say Apple users or whatnot. And as a result, they kind of go, all right, well here's the thing for everybody, just as an apology, like you get yourself to go further in life. I did feature some of these in my actual official channel. So if you want to take a look at that, you can. So that actually does some things there. And we are going to come close to finishing this very soon, unfortunately. Because, you know, are you still asleep, Spike? I guess you are. Alright. Just myself. My mom, the vet, took some tests and they found out what's wrong with you. Everything! Oh, wow. He's like Mr. Burns. I'm invincible. Where am I? Is this a hospital? I don't hear dogs barking. Oh, that's a bad sign. If I open my eyes, will I see a beautiful Hollywood-style girl waiting to take me home? Okay. Hi, Spike. I'm Naomi. That's why she's included in this update. Because of that line. Because of that line from the strips. So they're like, oh, big brain move, that's what we do. That's why. Now it makes 100% sense now. I forgot about that. Now it makes sense why she was included in this update. Although it's stupid, but you know, especially that her costume that she gets never was appeared in the comic strips, if I remember correctly, but you know, someone will be like, actually, Grim, that's wrong, and you're stupid. And I'm like, yup, that's me in a nutshell, me stupid. What else is new? Nothing, apparently. Anyways, we got some things going on here, and we will be... I wonder how far I got before I actually ended up not doing anything. Yeah, so more points, that's great. How exciting. Do I get another costume, though? I wonder. I think it might be... I think I did, but I don't know who. It might be Shermie, but... I guess we'll find out eventually. Oh, no, it might actually be... No, now I remember. So it was Linus at some point. We actually get his costume. So... yeah, because it's for the battle pass. And then it might be also Shermie, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. Anyways. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to buy from here. Thank you very much. There we go. Much better. Now then. What else? What do I do now? Alright, I have to finish this animation. Is he done now? Oh, great. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, that's right. She didn't do the right thing. That's why. Makes sense. Anyways, now she's done. Now we can continue on with the quest. We saw you standing in front of our animal clinic, Spike. How does she know his name? My mom said that dogs doesn't look well. Let's bring him inside. Yeah, it's It's too bad you can't talk. If you could talk, you could tell me what you were thinking. I think this bed is much safer than I'm used to. You know, that's true, man. He used to live in the desert. Needleworth County, or something Needles, right? I can't for the life of me remember, but it's somewhere there. Oh, God. Sometimes it's just... What's weird, too, there's some buildings, like the school wall, and then, school wall and, the mount. Anyway, here's Spike. I brought you, my mom said disappeared, but you get better. Maybe you'll be able to go home soon. Don't cure me too soon. This is a good life. Yep. What was it? Yeah, so like the walls and everything like that, like Sally would talk to her. It's like, damn you, school, you're so bad. And then the wall goes, you know, like he sighs. Like it's an inanimate object that's alive, right? Alright, here's another thing he got going on here. More of the food eating, but this time it's, you know, more zoomed in because, you know, here, go eat it. Yeah. I'm sure he's happy about that. Eat this custard. Dog don't like it, but too bad. I'm making you eat it anyways because me, dumb child. Oh, Ethan pack. Right, so Ethan became a permanent part of the event. Or, not the event, but you know, here. Like, he's not exclusive, as you'll notice. So this was his pack at some point. When you level up to a certain point, you get this stuff. So yeah, although these characters were exclusive at some point, they became permanent members. If we're doing Romeo and Juliet, we need to cast the lead roles. For Juliet, the actor must be able to portray the passion of a young woman in love.
Obviously, I should be Jillian, you blockhead.
Well, that's one kind of passion, I suppose. Yeah, God. Ooh, God. No. No. Sally, no. Lucy, sorry. Lucy, no. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, it was Linus that I get his stuff from. But he's busy right now. Sadly. We gotta do boxes, but we don't got any more to that.
Look, everyone else already has a job in the movie. Besides, I'll be the perfect Juliet. The audience will be dazzled by my beauty and charm. Quit laughing, Linus. Anyone who sees me and Juliet's a blockhead. And Schroeder can play Romeo's alongside.
And he's like, nah, I'm good. I want to play piano. I want to be the music for the show because of my boyfriend. My boyfriend, Beethoven. Oh, God. I kid. I'm not poo-pooing it. He ends up being Romeo by the looks of it, too, so... Of course. It sucks to be him. He's just like, if only Beethoven's been played, I will partake. That's all it is. But Beethoven's not included? I don't care. Don't want it. But he's like, but we're playing Beethoven. He's like, okay, I might play around with that idea. It's like, I don't want to be a Romeo with Lucy. What if we had, what if we, put, Beethoven in there for some reason? He's just like, I'm listening. That's his character. I hate it. I hate how one note he is. It sucks. Right? And what sucks about it too is that Shermie was the only character who actually stood up for our dear friend Charlie Brown, right? He's like, you know, oh, now you're gonna give him a Valentine's Day card after all you did? Nah, he's not gonna take it. He's like, don't listen to him, I'll take it. You know, it's like, you know, Charlie Brown is being his Charlie Brownness, despite Linus, or no, not Linus, Schroeder's trying to help him out, right? Like the dude bro that he should be, but, you know, oh, and I got a new costume, I got this. That's cool. Does it unlock an animation? I don't think so. Yeah, that's the one thing people got pissed off about when this update hit, was that some of the animations that used to be able to do on your own can't do it anymore because it requires a certain costume to do. Now, some of the costumes that does do stuff like that, you can buy with coins, I think, at some point. But before that, it's like, nah, you had to just unlock and be lucky, which was really sucky. I still love that Charlie Brown, one of his costumes is literally just a paper bag over his head. God. Oh boy. And yeah, so this is the exclusive animation here, which is him just looking at that. Yep, he's looking into the film. He's so big that he's looking inside the movie theater. Perfect. That is perfect. Are you sure you're still too weak to get out of bed, Spike? Your temperature seems normal. Being sick here is actually the best I've felt in my life. Yeah, he's gonna take it as much as possible, man. And why does he have a mustache? I know it's supposed to be whiskers, but yeah, Spike, I've been reading about artistic therapy. Yeah, look at this costume. To help you feel better, I'm gonna read you some poetry. What? Which do you like better, Emily Dickinson's or Marion Enfield? Whatever one comes in tapioca. Okay, look, I've mentioned this way before. When names come up, and if it's not normal, I will mispronounce it 100%. If it's not like Bob or Jack or Rachel, God help you. If you have a unique sounding name, especially if it's like European, God help you. I will butcher it badly because I don't know words properly. I'm not really interested. Linda's what? I know the producer personally, and he'll give you whatever you want. Unless I can arrange some soundtrack of the Eve of Beethoven. Of course you can do score. I know what has it before. Why am I not surprised? God, Schroeder is so... Oh, you're so typical. Pictures are so annoying. Great, how are the costumes? I'm not sure this doubles my style, but I guess I'm ready. Action! Oh, speak angel, bright angel, for thou art as... Line? Oh, God, why are you so, like, why is it that we just know exactly what you're gonna do, right? Mr. I only do it if Beethoven's involved. I don't care. I play Beethoven, I listen to Beethoven, I'll do anything with my boyfriend Beethoven. I swear that's what it is. Oh, God. Don't get me wrong, he's interesting music, but... Can you do anyone else? Like, really? That's the only one. No Mozart? Nothing of the vein of, like, modern music? No. You know why? Because in the Charlie Brown universe, this is taking place in, like, the 1930s. So everybody is sounding so old now. All the little kids who play this game and think, "Yay, Snoopy, I love it," and then they talk about old people movie stuff. Like, even old... Look, the movies they talk about is older than the boomers. That's how old this is. That's how ridiculous this was. That all these characters are basically talking like old people. Like, back in the day, we used to do... sticks and hoops. Something stupid like that. Like, please correct me if I'm wrong. I swear to Beagle Jesus that this is what happened, okay? This is exactly what was going on, right? What's sad about this new update too, by the way, is we don't get to go, "Aw, you lose, aw, too bad, aw," you know, sucks. And the other weird thing too, by the way, is that when the thing, oh yeah, we did get Shermie, so I was right. So when we first started the update, the actual button was extremely small. And only after, once you come back in, the button's like a proper size. It's very weird. But anyways, this is what he does. He's Mr. Paparazzi. He just takes pictures. Yep. Looks about right. Mr. I just snoops on people and just... like a bunch of stuff there. And yeah, I think I get Naomi at some point here, and I'll never get this because we're basically at the end here. Which is sad for me. Oh well. Sucks to suck, I guess. Anywho, that is it for now. As you see to do. So get a quick look into this whole thing, which is not too bad, but still it's kind of like... eh. Anyways, we are going to move on for the next episode. And the next episode's interesting because that's going to actually be something more unique, because it's going to be a really long episode. And when I mean long, I mean like almost 2 hours long. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. And the reason why is because I am putting 2 events into one. Now, mind you, the one event is going to be literally within 20 minutes, and the rest is going to be basically like 2 hours long. Reason why is because although I am going to be focusing on the big event, because this year marks a big anniversary for the Snoopy group, the real reason I'm doing this is because this episode, the next one, is going to be focusing on all the side quest stuff. So we're going to look at the characters I've actually unlocked and previously getting through their quest lines, as well as other stuff too. So get a look into that. Get ready, because this is going to be a long one, and hopefully we can survive this. So until then, that will do it for this episode. See you next time for some more videos from the archives.